Clarets TV speaking to City Manager Robbie Simpson after the 2-0 defeat here to Dorking. And Robbie, what do you make of that one? A good performance by Dorking, but we were always in it.
Yeah, we were. I think it's tough and frustrating when you work on a game plan Thursday and then you concede a goal. Our game plan, just make no bones about it, was to frustrate them and try and knock them off their game and make them try and do things that they don't usually do to try and break us down. We knew we had pace in the side to play on the counter-attack. And Thursday at times we worked on a full press, and I felt like the way of us scoring a goal would be to catch them when they think we're sitting off, but actually we've switched to a full press. We've been able to break and exploit the spaces that they leave because they play quite open, and that's how I thought we'd win the game. And after conceding so early, suddenly they're not so worried about trying new things because they're in the lead. They can play their patterns, settle into their rhythm a lot quicker. And for us, it's then harder to stick together on that game plan. So some of our players might have then gone for the press when we weren't ready and we weren't all together. And that first 15 minutes was tough in that respect. But I'm really, really proud of how the players stayed in the game that first half. That next 15 minutes, we really built our performance up. And then I thought the last 15 minutes, we finished stronger. And they were trying to waste time to get into half-time, to be honest. So that's really testament to our young players' character and professionalism, that they stayed in the game, built their performance back up and finished stronger. And I actually thought that we probably deserved to go in at half-time level. We had one kid off the line just before half-time, and I think if that had gone in, I don't think anybody would have had any complaints.
Yeah, and both halves were quite similar. Conceded an early goal, but we grew into the halves as they went along, and probably that spell between about 60 and 75 minutes, we looked like we were going to get one back. Matt Rush hit the post, and then Tom Blackwell had the sort of same chance as their first goal and hit the keeper.
Yeah, you're right. It was almost like a carbon copy scenario, the halves, weren't they? So we conceded early, stayed in the game again, gradually built ourselves into it, and then finished strong. And I always say moments change games, and the moments didn't quite go for us today. Matt Rush's header, the one clear off the line in the first half, Matt Rush's header, where he gets dragged down, clean through on goal. That moment didn't go for us. Then Tom Blackwell's chance, where I know that he'll feel like he should score, and he should have. And those moments didn't quite go for us. And Dorking's two moments, really, they were clinical with. Even the moment that was offside for their goal, they were clinical with it. They found the back of the net, and I think that was probably the difference. The first 15 minutes of both halves, we didn't start those well enough, bright enough, really, just mentally. And Dorking were clinical. They showed their nous at times as well, and experience, and we maybe showed our lack of experience at times. But I'm so proud of our players. Listen, Dorking are a very good team. They're top of the league for a reason. They've won so many games for a reason. They've scored lots of goals for a reason. And I felt like we've made them work for that victory today. We really have. They'll have come away really happy with those 3 points because we've made them work for them. We're obviously disappointed with the loss. We felt like we could have taken something from the game beforehand. But I'm really, really proud of how the players played both halves after going behind so early in both halves.
Yeah, it's an interesting tactical battle as well, because we play a sort of, Cameron called it a lopsided diamond, and Dorking have this formation where they drop a midfielder back to centre-back, and it's sort of odd formations. You don't really see that in more of a Premier League sort of style tactical battle than a non-league one.
I thought it was a really good game, actually. There was two kind of different styles. They like to overload wide areas. We obviously have bodies down the middle that like to then break wide from that shape. So it was a really good tactical battle, and I enjoyed it. And I'm frustrated we haven't come out on top, but I'm really pleased with the fight that we showed, and And I think the fans recognise that as well. They were absolutely superb today, the fans, especially at the final whistle. They were singing at the final whistle, applauding the lads. They could see that those lads gave everything today and just come up short in the moments that mattered. And it's given. I'm leaving here more positive than when I came, from what I've seen. You know, we've come here to a top team and really took it to them, I think. Bar obviously the first 15 minutes of both halves, we've really taken it to Dorking today, and that's really pleasing to see with such a young group, and it bodes well for the future.
Yeah, the only problem is that Dave and Tom are a bit busy in the treatment table at the moment. I think we've got 5 out. Is there any update on the injuries at the moment?
Well, Charlie's ill, not injured, so we hope he's going to recover quickly in time for next weekend. Cameron will probably be touch and go for next weekend, I imagine. Edwino's similar. I think the rest are long term. I think so. We won't be seeing them for some time.
Okay. And then next Saturday we've got another high-flying team, Oxford. They lost to Maidstone, who are chasing down Dorking at the top of the table. They may have a new manager by next week because they've got a caretaker in charge, so it might be more difficult to plan, but it's another a good side who are used to playing on a 3G like this coming to our stadium. Yeah,
well, you've reflected of how good our home form has been, especially defensively. Oxford are a really good team. We obviously went there early in the season, and I feel like we were more than value for the point. And we took it to them, and we're going to do the same to them at home, and we're going to try and take the 3 points.
Okay, unlucky today, Robbie, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Thank you, cheers.